Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joel Duggan and we are going to pop into Minecraft in just a second. First, I need to tell you that the Citadel Cafe did indeed record live last night in the Discord. Episode 502 should be out later today or tomorrow. We talked about Predator Badlands, The Muppet Show, and the new Mandalorian trailer. So if that's something that you think would be interesting, then check out the Citadel Cafe. There are over 500 episodes on your favorite podcasting app. Just let us know what you think. We're always happy to hear from new listeners. And there's also a Patreon if you'd like to support the show as well. And that's how you can actually listen live, as well as if you're part of my Patreon. It's all kind of one big community, and we record these things live on, it's usually the mid-Wednesday of the month right now. It's usually around 8 p.m. Atlantic. So if you'd like to join in, then that's when it happens. And I hope you do, because we had a lot of fun last night. And there was a couple people in the live chat, which is fun to talk to. Blast Jordan, hello, on a 35 stream streak. Welcome in. Nadila is here. Good to see you. Hope everyone's having a good Thursday so far. I'm not really sure what we're doing today. I think I'm going to start by digging out a little bit more of the chamber in the middle, because I don't have a big plan. I'm kind of stuck for design right now, so we'll see what we can do. But the idea is to at least make some progress regardless. And I also need to think about other buildings. I know it seems weird to think about other buildings when we haven't even come close to finishing this one, but I need to get like the lay of the land, I think, in terms of how far apart they're going to be. So first things first, we'll grab some stone shulker boxes. There's some room in that one. And there's some room in that one. I may also think about what blocks we're going to put along the side of this. So I continue to dig down, but I haven't really decided what I'm going to do for the actual insides. I don't think I'm going to make it quartz. This could be interesting as quartz, but I don't know about this. I feel like it would be cool to have this be quartz or concrete and have darker bits attached to the sides at certain points. The tricky part there will be having to light everything up, because at some point we do get into a ledge cave, but right now it's pretty good. Like, you stand here and you can just see the bottom unless you get to the very, very edge and look down. And the experience I want is for people to look down and have it feel like it has no bottom. So it needs to go down a bit farther. And it's easy to do, so we might as well. Dan the Man, that's a cool username. Welcome in. How'd you find the stream? Freckles was one of the people that popped into the live chat last night. Good to see you, Freckles. Thanks for the sub. 5 months, that's awesome. Appreciate that. I think on 6 you get a new keystone badge. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but we'll just start digging layers as we chat. There are some days when you log into Minecraft, you're like, I don't know what to build today, but I know I've got something that I have to dig out or work on. The exterior midsections are definitely something I need to address at some point, but I'm feeling pretty stuck. So probably easiest to make progress where I know I can make progress right now. And especially when you run into something like that, that's an easy way to make progress. There's a giant hole here. Sometimes I wish we were able to freeze time in Minecraft. And, like, I know you can do it with commands, but I mean, like, with with regular vanilla gameplay, because sometimes it would be nice to have the sun shining just all the time. You know, have a stream where it doesn't get dark, things didn't get too out of whack. I mean, I guess part of that is playing with shaders. It gets darker sooner, and you've got things like being in the shadow of blocks and builds and things. Freckle said I was going to join in after my lunch, but you guys finished when I was looking for the Discord to join. Yeah, we only recorded for about 2 hours total. Maybe an hour and 45 last night. And that's longer than normal. Since we've moved the Citadel Cafe podcast to monthly, we put in a little bit of extra time. So rather than an hour to an hour and 15, it's usually a good 90 minutes. I think that gives Steve and I more of a chance to talk about the things that we wanted to talk about. I quite like the format. And then we have to tag on the extra 15 minutes at the end where we have the bonus content for patrons. We still call that the Barista Cut. It's just the extended version of the podcast. So it's not huge, but I think it's fun. I forgot that we'd be running into some granite too. This is my own server. It's about 8 years old now, Dan, and I'll give you a quick view. We moved around Halloween. We moved to a sci-fi area on the server, and the idea here is that everything is going to be space or sci-fi themed. So I'm building myself a giant sci-fi base, and we've got a couple of these things filled up with design, but most of it's still in the early construction phase. But we do have things like the storage system. I say storage room. It's a storage room. It's not a system. It's nothing automatic. And then I just finished this yesterday. This space here. I say finished. We got the basics in. I still have to do all the details, but the basic construction is there. Block choices, walls, bulkheads, all that kind of stuff. I guess one thing we could do is we could start mirroring that across the different areas. I guess I want to make them all the same. I haven't thought if I wanted to make them all different. So that's one reason why I haven't done that. And then this is going to be some sort of central power core, but it's not been designed yet. It's just, I know the basic shape and feel that I want. So I know that I need to dig this down. So that's basically what we're doing for now. Plus I find that if you take like if I take the first bit of my stream every time, or at least once a week, then this just kind of slowly takes shape without it being too monotonous and too boring. Because if I was to try to finish this build all in one go on a stream, like it would just be endless digging. I don't know how fun that would be. Looks like I lit this up already. Some days more like every day for you? Yeah, that's fair. It's hard sometimes when, like I don't think about it much because I've always had a creative career. Like I worked in illustration and animation and television, and so when I, do Minecraft stuff, like I just think it's just gonna be a matter of time before I have an idea that I can work on. But sometimes when people are in Minecraft, like I forget that not everyone is super creative, and they can find games like this frustrating / a little, I'm not sure. People can get stuck, I think. For me, it's I know from experience in Minecraft that if I don't have a solid idea, working on something generally means I'm going to end up redoing it, and I just feel like I'm wasting my time. And it's one thing that I really don't like in Minecraft is having to do something twice or 3 times, like rebuilding something. I'd rather wait until I get inspiration for something, and then I don't want to say do it right the first time, but essentially that's the idea. So I should pop up and get a shulker box for granite and a shulker box for diorite. Do granite, and then I'll maybe just grab an empty shulker. Because then I can put diorite and moss and clay and other things away at the same time. Should take advantage of this today, because we'll be able to repair our pick as we go. So this is one of the things we decided to put inside these wings. I don't know what I could do other than having another entire wing of just iron guys, or create another wing with iron guys in it, and then get another trade that I want a lot of. Like maybe I want a whole slew of farmers, and I want to get a whole bunch of golden carrots instead of quartz. I kind of feel like it's a pretty good use for these wings, because I could put a small farm in the end. I guess I don't need to carry that around, do I? Need another empty shulker. Last word, you rely on resource hoarding and gathering to do things when not particularly filled with inspiration. No, that's a good idea too. Yeah, like if you've got, we're fortunately at a point on the server where like I don't really need to go get a lot of resources. Although I say that, I should really go get some tuff today too. So after we do a couple layers of this, maybe we'll go find some tuff, because that was the bottleneck in designing the exterior yesterday. So thanks for the reminder. Actually, I completely forgot that I needed to go find some tuff. Maybe we'll find some as we're digging down through here. That would be ideal. But we haven't gotten to bedrock yet. We're still at level 26, so we're not going to hit... Not bedrock. We haven't hit deep slate. We still got another 24 layers before we hit deep slate. There's something about the way that the sun hits down here that reminds me of Satisfactory. Apparently there's some big Satisfactory news coming out tomorrow, so depending on when they're going to release 1.2, you can expect Satisfactory to finally come back into my gaming rotation. I've wanted to play it, but there's just been no point because I know that there's big changes coming. And we also have essentially kind of like a forever world in Satisfactory right now, so it feels kind of silly to make big changes when I would have to, again, like I mentioned, redo a bunch of stuff, so it just didn't feel worth it. Satisfactory tends to also release decorative changes along with technical updates, so I could just log into Satisfactory and do some decorative building, but I find that I don't like that as much as the other things in the game, and then if they released new ways to decorate, I would be kind of cheesed off that I didn't wait. How many blocks do I go here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I would say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got lights need to go there. Am I gonna make it? Nope. Yeah, I forget that there's even the possibility of zombies down here. It's only when we get close enough to a lush cave that we actually run into them. Yeah, he's right on the other side of the wall. Wish we could find a use for all the stone. I'm sure another project will come up, or maybe someone else on the server will need it, but man, we definitely have a lot. Every now and again we find a use for it, for sure. More granite than I thought I was going to get, too. We'll probably go down 10 layers in total, and then I'll switch to something else. Well, we should go get tuff. That's the main thing. So I can absolutely say that both Steven and I had a good time watching Predator Badlands. It was very different than what you would expect from a Predator movie. So if you like the sci-fi genre and you like the Predator franchise, I feel like you'll probably get a lot out of it. I think I liked the Predator Killer of Killers animated series better. Not that that was perfect either, but I feel like there's just something about animation right now that's kind of in that post Spider-Verse level of, I don't want to say grown up, but like there's just, they have some higher stakes, I think, in the animated stories right now, and I really like them, and they're very well done. CG is to the point now where people can get stylized with it, and it just really is super expressive and cool. Another really good one that isn't for kids is Blue-Eyed Samurai. And that I think has a second season sometime soon. Well, I shouldn't say soon. I think it's coming, but it's that was a labor of love, and I hope they don't rush it, because I feel like if they rushed it, they'll lose the magic. Is it Amy Dop? Welcome in. Thanks for saying hi. How did you find the stream? Ms. Mist, what's up? Oh, hello. We now have a problem. We're definitely in a lush cave now. Whoop, wrong one. I should probably bring a bed down with me. I don't know if we completely repair the pickaxe when we do this, but we get real close. You know what? We'd probably do. Doing well, Ms. Miss. Thanks. Telling everybody that we recorded a new podcast episode of the Citadel Cafe last night. I thought it was a pretty good conversation. I also had a good chat with a friend after the podcast last night, which is good. In a world of texting, I think it's always good to have a couple of people that you like to talk to on the phone. Or in person, but sometimes when you're a 4-hour plane ride away, that's not possible. I say 4. I think it's more like a 2-hour plane ride. I do a lot of texting, but that's because it's convenient, and I find that a lot of my friends text me because they don't always know when I'm on a podcast, and so it's easier to just leave a message and then I can get back to them. It's also easy to text people during the workday, I find. That way you can send a thought or send a message like right when you think about it, as opposed to waiting until later. We lucked out. Absolutely repaired the pickaxe. This was an absolute win to set up. It took a while, but the fact that we've been able to use this to get so much quartz and build with what would be a really difficult block to get for the last several weeks has been awesome. I'm trying to think about what other villager trading I would want. I don't need things like enchanted books right now because the server's been around for so long. We kind of have that set up already. But I'm kind of wondering like what personally I could use I mean, maybe I should start trading. Yeah, I guess I could start trading for. They don't give me andesite, right? They only give me. I guess I could start trading for terracotta if I want to. I never thought about that. Purple terracotta. I can probably mine that faster than I can collect it. Oh crap, that's not what I wanted to do. I think they're done. Nope. Did you guys reset too? Yes. I mean, it makes sense. We're going to be using quartz a lot in the wing designs, so might as well get it while we can. I never come at the right time of day. I have to note what time on the clock. I think it's 11 on the clock. Is ideal. Okay. I need to label some of these. Multiple and stone. Oh, I put that on the wrong one. Crap. We are officially pushing the quartz. That's good. Lots now. I think my ores are over here. Might as well just leave these out. I'm sure we'll be back up to empty more of this kind of stuff. Oh, it's full. Huh. How are we doing for white dye? Not amazing? How are we doing for bones? Also not great. Let's set up a little composter. Do it. We can just use this. Can I access it from up here? Yeah, I guess I could. I guess I have to take up some more of the floor. So much clay. Wow. You know, it's a lot of work to dig out a big area like this, but you end up with a lot of resources. Like, if I was to start over again, rather than going strip mining, or just after the initial, I guess, setup in a new world, I would just dig a giant hole. I feel like you just, if you can deal with it, the monotony of it, then you get so much. And if you could make it part of your build, I think it can really be beneficial. Does anybody else do that? Like, do you dig giant holes, or do you do like strip mining? I mean, I haven't really reset a world in a long time. I think my snapshot world for covering stuff for the show is probably the most, or the closest I've come. Nadelia says, I usually strip mine. Seriously considering digging a hole for sure? Yeah. I mean, if you can work it into a part of a build, then that's even better, right? Two birds with one stone. I think a lot of my resources early on the Citadel came from digging my witch perimeter for my witch farm. That was close. Holy crap. Jody, what's going on? Pizza user, I've dug holes for future projects for materials for current projects. That's a good idea. Like, you've got two things you want to do, and so you're thinking, all right, a minute. If I start build number 2 that involves a big dig, then I'll have all the materials I need for build number 1. Nice. It's like digging out the side of a mountain for a castle and then using that stone to build a bridge or drawbridge or something nearby, right? Like, that's a smart way to do it, for sure. We were starting to run a little bit low on andesite too, so this is working out great. We have an iron farm, so I'm not worried about the iron so much. How do you get those lights in bulk? Which one? The frog lights? It's a farm. I didn't build it myself, but you can create a farm in the nether. You can bring frogs to a magma cube farm, and they'll make frog lights. I just buy them from a server mate who has set up the farm and charges me my diamonds for them. But because the server's been around for so long, I've just got tons of diamonds, so it's faster to do that. So that's how I get all the lights. We've used them a lot everywhere, actually. Hold on. We've got them all behind the elevators, in the walls. Got them in the ceilings. They've been really handy. And end rods is pretty simple. You just make a coarse fruit farm, which I've got over there. But yeah, really handy to have frog lights for sci-fi builds. I didn't find sea lanterns were all that great in terms of the texture. I think the frog lights are more flexible. They're a little bit more subtle. In sci-fi Minecraft stuff, you kind of have to use your imagination to sell blocks as something that they're not. So I find that usually a little bit tricky. Even something like a redstone lamp doesn't feel super sci-fi. It still has like a medieval feel to it. I think it could be just the color. It's brown. In my servers, farm maker, but I have gone 10,000 blocks out and I can't find a swamp. Oh no! That's frustrating. We kind of knew we had everything close by. I looked up the seed 8 years ago before we started. So basically because it's a bunch of, you know, adults with jobs and families and people that wanted to play Minecraft but not waste time looking around for something that may or may not exist. Doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more layer. And then we'll call that enough digging in this area for the day. I do need to go get some more tuff. I should do that after the break. Is there a website you used to put the seed in the map? Yes, it was called Chunkbase. It's still around. I don't know if it's .org or .com, but if you Google Minecraft Chunkbase, you should be able to find it, no problem. And you can enter in your seed into that and like take a look around. You can filter by biome, you can filter by structure. So if you're not above that, and if the server mates are okay with you doing that, then it's a great way to save some time. I mean, you still have to travel to the biome and do the farm and do the thing, but if it's going to save you hours and hours of looking, which is not fun, then it might be worth running it by your server mates to see if that's something you want to do. I would consider the Citadel a vanilla plus server. We use a couple things outside of vanilla that just makes sense for us. Some data packs, using command blocks to teleport from one zone to another. We're able to put the medieval zone and the sci-fi zone like 10,000 blocks apart so that people don't have to worry about someone building a medieval castle in the backyard of their UFO. You know, that kind of stuff, I think is good. For screenshots, I tend to leave this place with a all stone bottom. So we'll just tighten this up. Whoops. 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're at an hour. Yep. Thanks. Just in time to wrap this part of the dig up for now, and then move on to something else when I come back. So that worked out well. Every now and again, these streams, you got to do some of the labor, you know, some of the hard work that goes into the cool, like before the cool stuff, like building a giant power core in the middle of a sci-fi base. You kind of need to have the hole for the power core to go in before you can have the fun of digging out the power core, or of building it, I guess. Also, it helps that I don't have a design for it, so like I couldn't build it right now if I wanted to. Or I could, it would just be premature. I wonder if we're still in the lush cave. Yes. If I get past the lush cave, then the bottom surface won't be something that will spawn anything. Almost there. I actually have to get some out. Is that everything? I think that's everything. Yes, I know I've got holes in the wall. There's tunnels that go out in various directions. Nice. So we added another 10 layers to that. That's pretty good. Can't quite get there with one rocket now. Folks, if you're new to the channel, as I think some of you are today, I take a break once an hour. Gives me a chance to grab another cup of coffee. You can grab a friend, grab a snack, let everyone know that we're streaming. I am always trying to grow the channel. And if you're enjoying it, let people know. I'll be right back. All right, we need to put some of this stuff away. Did I not just have... There it is. Yeah, we got a lot of stone. Can probably fill one of those boxes. Yeah. Clay. This is starting to fill up too. Andesite. We're back in business with andesite. That's great. I felt like I was running low before. Actually, that's empty. Put that over here. I feel like this is a good spot for the empty shulkers. What could I put there? All right, we need to go get some tuff. So we'll grab the tuff shulkers. Remember what normally goes there. Maybe I just need to put an empty shulker there. Sailing Stan, how's it going? So we need the tuff shulker box. That's the one I want. I'll bring that too. And that should be it. Don't remember what level we found the tuff on. Oops. Can't see. Level minus 30. I would say that's probably a good level. The only tuff? That was lucky. I'll take it. I really like the change they announced this week that changes the ability to put both deep slate and cobbled deep slate in the stone cutter and get the variance. It's gonna save a lot of people a lot of time. Plus, it just makes sense. Oh crap. I knew that was going to happen eventually. That's a lot of scaffolding. Dang it. I don't remember how much scaffolding I had on me. Definitely a lot. I'm at negative 25. It was at least 100. That's probably okay. Let's put deep slate there. It's a decent pocket of tuff. Looks like it keeps going too. Good. No complaints. I should probably put this here on purpose. The falling scaffolding was strangely satisfying. Yeah, fair. I can see how that would maybe scratch an itch for some people. We've come down into the corner of the room here. Alright, how we do? Almost a shulker. That really did not take very long at all. I mean, it helps that with all the beacons around, it's an instant mind block. I thought it jumped off in another direction. Oh, maybe I got that. Okay. Hey, there's more. Anything larger? Oh, this goes into the trial chamber. Okay. Well, maybe we found another pocket. Cool. I will take it. Kuya, hello, how's it going? Oh yeah, vertical. Good stuff. I never thought to check where we were. Mushroom fields, at least. Like, I'm not lighting any of this up. That's probably not a good idea. Well, at least we know where to come to get more tuff. There seems to be a lot of it around. Polished tuff is definitely one of the blocks we've been using a lot of in the roofs and in the ceilings of the build. So nice to have a ready supply. Oh, what's that? That's Another tunnel. I'd say that's probably good for now. Now the real question is, did I put enough scaffolding down to get this back to the top? I did. Nice. Have I gone to negative 51? I feel like that level had some to the west. I don't know why that's sticking in your head. Maybe. Maybe. We got lots now, though. I'm sure there's lots around. Wrong one. Where do I keep the gravel? There it is there. Alright, so we got the tuff. I should check on the sheep, I think. It was almost full the other day. I also need to check to see whether the gunpowder is moving. That's doing okay. So this is making some, but it's not, it's only going at the speed of the sugarcane farm, which is much slower than the creeper farm. So we're backed up on gunpowder. Probably all the way, yeah. I really do like flight access to this place. Fun. Thought I had the gunpowder over here. Maybe I didn't. Where did I move that to? Am I blind? Where did I move the gunpowder chests? I've seen them. Weird. What did I do with those? I had 2 chests of gunpowder. Where would I have put those? There they are. Weird. Okay. So, let's see if there's anything small that I can do. We could start to look at the outside. So we did sort of start to map out the 4th level and what I think that might look like. I also want to try to figure out what's happening here. We may have to add another elevator. It may be worth it to have 3 elevators. I need to find a way to get up to this level. I mean, we do have a clear path here. I decided to have this not be a down elevator, but have it go up to the next floor. So there's definitely a way. It might be worth it to have like this be up and this be down, but then don't know how to. You'd have like a zigzag way of getting up. It'd be weird. I did that in the modern city and I was not a fan. You know, while I'm thinking about those farms, I should also go and check the glow squid farm in cave. Creeper farm is obviously full. Backed up all the way. Oh, I guess there's no hoppers here. That but it's still working, obviously. But then this is probably backed up a lot. Not as bad as I thought, actually. Weird. I dislike that you can't see what's in the hopper because the hitbox for the curved rail is a square. So we haven't. This is not functioning at a rate that's crazy, so we can not have to worry about that. Oh, it was a nice sunny day. Oops. So that just has something sound. I get the feeling that end rods are going to be high on the list soon. I don't know if I grew them that close together before. Maybe not. This is just... Oh no, I've got both of these things in here. Cool. So one of the things that I like for the outside is an image I picked up off of ArtStation. Sort of the inspiration from a color scheme perspective, but I like some of these vents. I think that's a cool thing. I think that that kind of thing would look good on the outside. And like in that space there. But I don't know how to do it at an angle. We're probably going to have to do it in a different way. Or at a larger scale. I'm also not sure about these windows. I need to do something to them on the outside that makes them feel a little bit nicer. Maybe stairs. Actually, let's try that. I feel like... Whoops. I feel like diorite stairs could work. Oh, I already did it over here. Yeah, I feel like we'll put... Maybe put stairs on the top too. Yeah. Oh, there's no glass here. Probably looks pretty good from inside too. Yeah. We need some blue panes. That's better. Can't believe I forgot that. How would I do the vents? I would probably use stairs. I would probably use stairs stacked on top of one another. So probably the deep slate. And it would probably look something like this. If this worked out to be the right scale. Alternatively, I could just do the same thing but with slabs and put something dark behind them. Yeah, that might not read from far away. But I would do probably slabs with black concrete behind them. On an angle, we'd probably do something even larger, maybe full blocks. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep the angle. I might try and create something in the middle that's not on an angle. So like if I go and look out here, if I create something that comes out here and something that comes out in that direction, I would put the vents kind of like on the flat side maybe. It's hard. I don't know. I've definitely shot myself in the foot in terms of the angle here. One thing we could do, like the vent, maybe the vents are here, right? As this continues back before it meets the angled part, the vents could be in this space, right? We could do that too. Yeah, I definitely need to have a brainstorm session on what we're going to do with the ceiling and how that fourth floor is going to work and how I'm going to get to it is the big question right now. I'm probably going to have to sacrifice and use one of these elevators to go up instead. Yeah, we'll probably have to go up. Which sucks because I really like the way that they look. And there's no... Yeah, there's no space to go up. I'd have to change the design here. Which is too bad. We could also put the elevator in this space too. That could work. Or could it? No, that would pop us out here. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, maybe we put the elevator here. Like maybe, I think I talked about this yesterday. Maybe we can put the elevator here and then hide it in some sort of bulkhead that goes up to the ceiling. Like maybe there's something that comes out here and goes up. The thing is that these elevators are not, they're not shallow. Like they're pretty deep. So it would add a considerable amount, like right there. Not sure. Corner stairs? I don't know if they'll translate well enough. Yeah, I'll have to try it. It's one of those things you kind of have to try before you can do it. I am going to have to wrap things up there. I've got a podcast to edit and I've got other things to do today. But thanks very much for hanging out, folks. I'm going to pass you along to Pixel Riffs, who's live. It looks like he's doing some mining and then some D&D campaign prep after that. So that'll be a really fun stream. Hope everyone had a good time chilling out with me today. Sometimes you just got to get the work done. And so we've made a little bit of progress on a few different parts of the base, but we'll be back hopefully with more designs. I don't know what I'm playing tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to do Hightail or if I'm going to try something else, but we'll see. And then Saturday is going to be back to Minecraft. So do check out the Citadel Cafe podcasts and the Spawn Chunks podcast. There's a new episode of the Spawn Chunks out now. Citadel Cafe is what I have to go do and edit. That should be out in the next couple of days. I would really appreciate it. They're both free. And new listeners are always welcome. You can check out patreon.com/JoelDuggan to support the stream, join the Discord, listen to those podcasts live, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks again for the support, Nadila. Thanks for the mod help, and thanks for the new follows. Cheers, folks. Bye for now.